guys built that 25-point halftime lead. What did you get away from in the second half?
The start of the third quarter was just way too nonchalant. And this team has done this to us enough times that everyone remembers and can expect sometimes the adjustment or the uptick in what we were about to see. And that was what happened. We let them get back into the game, and they are a tough group, especially when you let them get going like that.
How disappointing is that to you to know that, that happened in Minnesota and then, like you said, a little nonchalant?
It's extremely disappointing, but it's also acknowledging that those guys in there got the 25-point lead, and they got down at the end of the fourth quarter, and they won the game. So I'm not going to sit here and be negative or not keep it all in perspective. That part is extremely disappointing, and that part has been, I think, what has crept in at times and been our biggest thorn in our side this year, which has just been at times some nonchalantness because we don't have some of the depth of experience, history, wisdom, runs on the board, accomplishments to refer to when times get really tough. We have to overly respect the process, the details, and playing the right way, because we're lacking in some areas that we can't control right now. So when we go through this, we cannot let our guard down in those areas. And when we do, we find ourselves at times in similar situations. They're not all created equal or the exact same, but I think we've seen some similarities when this happens.
What did you guys do, I guess, in the inverse, or on the flip side, what did you guys do to right the ship again at the end? What was sort of the difference there down the stretch, beyond Victor hitting a bunch of shots?
I think we finally had some physicality plays. Defensively, give enough resistance with discipline without fouling, some rebounding, some catches, some passes, and creating leads. A lot of the little things that go into then the shot making.
I guess that's something that you guys have managed on both counts, giving up some leads, but still a bunch of times this season sort of riding that ship and getting back into the flow of things. What is, especially with all these young guys, how does that look for you all going forward?
I think it gives you a lot of reason to believe in potential of what you can continue to grow into, and it gives you a lot of alarming pause of what your pre-mortem is.
Thoughts on Victor's second quarter?
Dominant. He obviously got going and made a lot of shots, but again, Victor and a lot of our guys individually, it's pretty, whether it's contagious or carryover or just what goes into the collective group, but the process of typically what we take individually with the game plan execution and the detail and playing the right way, when we have that right approach, we give ourselves a good chance. And the shot making a lot of times is the outcome, but we practice, we watch a lot of film, we train. Not saying other teams don't, obviously, but when we stay true to that, the expectations of what I should do, whoever that is on the court, and what my teammate should do or what they're gonna do is typically pretty connected. And when we do that, you then start seeing guys' individual talent pop off the page, and obviously his can pop pretty big.
Coach, in those final minutes of the fourth quarter with 3 minutes left, Victor was trading buckets directly with Anthony Edwards. What did his immediate answers and responses, shooting-wise, tell you about his competitive response, considering what happened during the last matchup?
Yeah, I think Vic has proven in his young career that he embraces those moments and wants the basketball and is looking for opportunities. And he obviously did that tonight, and we have to continue to do that in all phases of the game, not just Victor, but the whole team in terms of defense, rebounding, passes, creating leads, and just all the little things.
25-12.
And Phoenix now 2-0 against the Knicks this year as they win at 106-99. Here with Alan Hahn. Great to have you with us. No Jalen Brunson, no Josh Hart. Knicks had now lost 8 out of 10, only 22 fourth quarter points. They went only 1 out of 10, the Knicks. From downtown to the fourth quarter, they had a lot of makeable shots. They just couldn't make them when it counted.
When you work this hard defensively, when you've been on the road as long as the Knicks have, the fatigue factor sits in. When you play against a team that plays as physical as the Suns did, I'm sitting courtside watching that game, and I'm watching just the physicality and how much the Suns get away with when it comes to what they can do with their hands, with their hip. I mean, they really beat you up on every possession, and that wears you down as a team. And so the Knicks brought what everybody needed, talked about how they needed physicality, show some defense, put up a fight. They absolutely did without their captain, without Josh Hart, with 2 starters out. They brought the fight. The problem was when it got down to the fourth quarter, you had to make shots. They didn't have the legs. They had some open threes, couldn't knock them down. And it was the end of the third quarter. They were up 10. They were rolling. The Garden was rocking. And in the last 5 minutes, 0 for 4, 4 turnovers, and the Suns scored the next 13 points. And suddenly, what felt like the Knicks were in control was suddenly no longer, and it was going to be a grind the rest of the way.
Knicks had a 16-0 run, as you're talking about, to go up by 10, but Phoenix closed the third quarter on a 13-0 run. That made it tight, and as we bring in Wally Zerbiak, who helped call the game on the radio on ESPN New York, Wally, the Knicks just didn't have enough juice down the stretch tonight.
Really missed Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson, but the effort was 100% there. The defense, the fight. There were a couple Phoenix Suns guys that had bloody noses, broken noses, you name it. The physicality in this game, the Knicks matched it and then some. They just didn't have the shot makers to make the plays when they needed to. Alan, you were right. That last couple minutes in the third quarter, once the Knicks had their lead, they had to go away from Anunoby and Towns, get them a little bit of rest, and they couldn't generate anything at the basket. That set the tone for the fourth quarter, and then the fourth quarter, Devin Booker knows how to get to the free throw line, knows how to, just kind of inch his way into getting some points. And I thought both teams' legs were shot at the end of the game. Completely shot, because they left it all out there on the floor with the effort on both ends of the floor. That was a well-played game by both teams as far as playing hard. That was impressive stuff. They put a show on for all these alumni. It was electric here in the Garden. It's just unfortunate the Knicks couldn't come away with the victory.
Oh, yeah, look at the score. That's an old school score, 106-99. You hold the team to 106 in today's NBA, you should win easily. But it's a lot different now. When you play a game like that and they get after it the way they did, it was certainly entertaining. And I'll tell you this, anybody in the Western Conference, you do not want to play the Phoenix Suns in the first round.
I don't think you want to play anybody in the Western Conference.
But playing them in the first round, I mean, that's a handful. But the other part of this, as we said, 2 Knicks starters out, so now you got to push everybody up in the depth chart, and that stood out tonight as well, because reserves played late in the third quarter, and that pocket that Wally's talking about. But the bench scoring in this game was 39-14. The Suns dominated that because Grayson Allen was fantastic. I thought Goodwin was really good early in this game, and the Knicks just couldn't get anything going. Jordan Clarkson really struggled in this game. Devin Booker was seeking him out defensively to try to take advantage of him defensively, and Tyler Kolek also really didn't have a strong game as well. So when you are missing 2 starters, you're going to ask somebody that doesn't get a lot of minutes to step up and give you a performance. We've seen that in past games this season. It didn't happen tonight.
Wally, how about Cat tonight? 23-11. What'd you see from him?
Love the effort